Let's get to Newcastle's training ground, and Keith Downey is there for. Sorry about to make you wait there, Keith. There's just a lot going on right now, and you understand that more than most people, right? Things have moved on significantly with Šeško in the last 24. Manchester United to come in for him as well, but like you say, Newcastle's bid's the only one at the table right now. How worried are Newcastle that Manchester United will come in eventually?
Look, I think there's an internal worry, yes, because we keep getting told, the noises are that Manchester United are there, but they're not there in terms of a formal offer. It's only Newcastle who at this stage have made an offer for Benjamin Šeško and said, look, we want to sign you. I think there is an internal concern that perhaps the player does favour Manchester United, but of course those positive noises came out last night that he is open to a move to Manchester United are yet to formalise their own offer. Now, why is that? Is it because they're trying to get players out the door first? Are they trying to work themselves around PSR? Are they just playing the waiting game? It feels like there's a number of games being played here, but Newcastle clearly stating their intent with that new bid last night, and as I say, it feels like we're getting to the crunch point in this transfer.
Yeah, it does appear so. Remember, all of this is going on while the Alexander Isak situation is going on too. Where is he now, do you know, and when will he rejoin the first team?
He's in the building behind me, Tom, right now, recovering from that minor thigh injury that he reported just under 2 weeks ago when he failed to travel to Asia for Newcastle's pre-season tour and instead went on a self-imposed training camp.
Better that, can he get to the latter stages? Is he going to win the silverware that perhaps he wants to do whilst he's at this football club? And that's part of the job that Eddie Howe and his backroom team have to do and say, look, this is the next right step for you. There has been that Manchester United shadow lurking in the background, and that of course has been appealing to him, but until they put the money on the table he doesn't really have a decision. Newcastle fans will say, well, hang on, we got close with João Pedro, we got close with Dean Howson, we got close with Hugo Ekitike, but ultimately they chose to go in a different direction. So these things can change at the last minute. You mentioned at the top of the show Chuba Akpom. Regardless if he's sat in that Ipswich Town dressing room, changing room, training ground, until it's physically signed, nothing is done. And this is very much the same situation. Newcastle United could agree a fee with RB Leipzig, and they could say, we've agreed a fee, you're now free to travel to do your medical in the northeast with Newcastle United. He could fly over to the northeast and then get a phone call to say Manchester United have matched the fee and actually they're going to give you more money, and then he goes from Newcastle to Manchester. That's what's happening at the moment. It feels like there is a lot going on and a lot of moving parts, but like Keith rightly said, this is not going to go on much longer. Newcastle United won't allow this to go on much longer. They're going to want a decision so they can start to focus on exactly what they're doing, and if they do need to move on to other targets, then they'll have to do that.